Would you like to see how to populate this board with all the components and get it to look like this? Well, stay tuned. In this video, I'll be showing you step by step how to install all the components on this board. In my previous videos, 188, I showed you guys how to connect the diode assembly. In video 191, I showed you how to connect the transformers. They go in here. In a video 185, I showed you guys how to connect the capacitor bank. So we'll take it from here and we'll go ahead and populate all this board here and all the modules and components which go on here. Usually I start first with resistors. Every resistor here is marked. Later on I'm almost ready to offer a kit for this printed circuit board. First I wanted to show you everything, how it's being assembled, and once I have all these videos posted, then I will be offering a printed circuit board with all the components and everything else you need to assemble and make a working PMF 2.4 Tesla, and also possibly we'll be offering different models as well. 1.8 Tesla, which should be this one, 1.8, 1.9 Tesla, and also 1.1 Tesla with the smaller capacitors. Okay, let's start with resistors. Here is my resistors. Each one of the resistor is marked on the board. So simply follow the markings and install appropriate resistor into here. Most of the resistors are right here, and there is one here. So let's go ahead and install them and solder them. After installing 15 fixed resistors, here they are, we're gonna install a diode. Make sure this diode has a line here. It's a polarity. It shows the cathode side. So the cathode side, there is a line here. That's where the diode goes to. Transistor, there is one transistor, which is NPN transistor. And as you see how it's shape of it, same here, follow the picture. This is how the shape of it, just like that, and it will go into here, into these 3 holes. This is a 30-volt Zener, and the Zener is going to be installed here also. It has a cathode side to the left, so make sure you match. There is a line here on the left side, the black line, so match the black line with that line on the left side here. Then I will install, this is a IC adapter, integrated circuit adapter, and they will go in here. Also, as you see, there is a hole on this side here, not hole, just like niche. So make sure you install it same way here, just like that. And then the chip also has an edge here on this top side, so that goes in here inside the holder. And the optocoupler, this optocoupler, you see it does have a dot on one of the sides, so that dot you need to match with this dot right there. There is a dot, so that's where the optocoupler goes to. So let me go ahead and solder that. Moving on, next I will install these components with one module. This is variable resistor 100K, and it's gonna go in here just like this. Pulse width modulator. You're gonna need to bend these legs to the side like this, and it's gonna go like that. Okay. Relay, you will get one relay, and relay is gonna go to here, just like that. This is a 250 volt 1 microfarad capacitor, which will go into here, just like this. Okay, then 16 volt 220 microfarad capacitor, that one is going to be installed right there. There is a plus and minus, so usually the longer leg is positive and also negative is marked with the minus here. So make sure you follow. The minus is going to be going to the bottom and plus to the top. There is a plus sign on the board. Then active buzzer. Positive is marked, but again, if you don't have this label, positive is usually the longer lead. And the active buzzer, the positive is going to go to the left. I know this is one mistake that I did. It's not marked here where is positive, where is negative, so make sure the positive goes to the left. So this longer one goes to the left. Let me install it here, just like that. And small 0.1 microfarad 16 volt capacitor, that one's gonna go in here. It's a C7 capacitor right there. Next would be 3 diodes, 3 LED diodes. The one to the left, green one, is your power LED. The one in the middle is protection LED. That's the one that blinks. And the one to the right is the pulse LED with the short legs. Same way with the diodes. The longer leg is plus, the shorter one is minus, so make sure you install them correctly. Each diode polarity is marked. For example, this red blinking LED, which is the one in the middle, has the plus sign on the top. Here is pulse LED. That one's got plus sign on the top. And the green power LED, this one's got plus sign to the left. So that's the 12 volt AC/DC adapter. This one is gonna go in here and it connects. There is a minus plus here on the top and a minus on the bottom here. That's where this red is positive and black is negative. For this side, this is AC side, you connect to one goes to hot and one goes to neutral in here. And another, you will add a wire that would go from here and it would go to the transformers and it will connect to the switch. When I was showing you video how to connect transformers, I showed you there is a wire that goes to this module, to the hot terminal right here. And voltage multiplier capacitor. This is 1.5 kilovolt, 4.7 microfarad, and this one will go in here. You're probably wondering what are those holes. I drilled those out and I filled it up with epoxy. I want to make sure no moisture can get inside and this AC/DC adapter would last as long as possible. Next thing I do is I install diode assembly, and diodes will go here. They have 2 mounting holes and they will come with the mounting hardware. So these 2 longer ones, bolts, will be used for bracket to mount the diodes to the board, and these 2 are used for securing terminals to the positive here and this one to the negative right here, just like this. This wire that is connected to the diode, this diode which is closer to the capacitor, is gonna be soldered into this hole. Oh yeah, and I use these rivets to secure AC adapter to the board on both sides, right there and right there. Okay, I got my diodes mounted. They're secured to the board, and also I attached cathode to the positive and anode to the negative from the voltage multiplier. Later on, I will use a piece of shrink and I'll put it over and shrink wrap it. Here also I put a sleeve here. This sleeve is gonna go over this positive terminal and we'll shrink wrap it. Okay, let's move on to the next. Would be thyristor, this guy here. So this thyristor will be used with the plate. There is a plate here that goes underneath the thyristor. So I'll need to drill the holes to mount it here, and we'll go ahead and secure it. Here is the mounting hardware for the thyristor, and the thyristor is here. I drill the holes for the plate. So next I need to drill a hole for the thyristor in this strip. But first I'm gonna go ahead and put a shrink wrap over up to here and put the thyristor here, bend it over and drill, I believe, 3/8 hole for this bolt to go through. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, we have a thyristor in place. Let me show you how everything looks like so far. Here is the thyristor. Here is the front. Also, I shrink wrap this pulse width modulator. Here's the diodes. Shrink wrapped here and here as well. And the next would be wiring transformers. So the transformers are gonna go here. I'll go ahead and install it. There is a plates, so you have a rubber plates that goes underneath each transformer, and then another rubber plate will go over, and this is a supporting plate that will go over, and you mount the secure it to the board with a bolt. Here we are. I got transformers wired up. If you want to see how it's done, refer to video 191 on my YouTube channel, where in details I'm showing you how to wire on-off switch, how to wire connector for your power, and voltage switch between 110 and 220. So this circuit can work on both 110 and 220. Also, in this setup here, I just went ahead and connected the fan. The fan connects to this connection here where it says 12 volt DC fan. You don't need a large fan. This mid-size fan will do just fine. The parts that needs to be cooled off is these two diodes. They get hot, and you want to blow either air on them or exhaust hot air from them with a mid-size fan. These two wires are your on-off switch from the coil signal, and at the coil you're gonna install 60 Celsius thermal switch, which goes on the side of the coil here. And if you want to see how to wind a coil, refer to video 186. Also a molding coil, video 187. So you'll have 4 wires from the coil and 2 wires from thermal sensor. So 4 wires from the coil, 2 will be attached to here, and 2 will be attached to this positive lead from the capacitor bank, and the sensor wires are going to be attached to these two wires here. Normally it's open circuit here. When its circuit is open, the transformers will be charging capacitor bank and whole circuit is going to be operating. As soon as there is a short on these wires, and that happens when thermal switch triggers, when coil gets hot, your relay will trigger, it will disconnect charging, will stop charging your capacitor bank. Also, active buzzer will trigger and start beeping. You can adjust the beeping speed with these two resistors here, how fast it beeps. Also, LED, thermal protection LED will start blinking, this red one here. Another thing I did is I extended wires from the power LED and I connected them to this red and black. These are LED wires. These switches can have can come in different configuration: 12, 5 volt and 24 volt for LED, and even 110 volts. So get the one with the 12 voltmeter. This voltmeter measures capacitor bank voltage and displays it as the capacitor bank charges. It will show you 50, 100 and 150. There is another thing I do. I add a label here which says capacitor bank voltage multiplied by 10. So when you see 50, it means capacitor bank charged to 500 volt, 100 means 1000 volts. This bank will be charged to 1300 volt. My 5B circuit originally charges to 1100 volt, actually 1050 volt. This is the resistor which precisely adjusts the output for this voltmeter. Normally it's 360K. If you use a DH670 model of this voltmeter, you don't need to adjust it. If you use something else, then you would need to adjust this resistor so that voltmeter displays a proper value of the capacitor bank charge. Alright guys, in my next video I will be showing you how to place this setup into the box, or maybe the next video after the next. So stay tuned.